Hey there everyone, it's Eric Jackson again. You might notice I've got a new sign here from Dresden Files reference from 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗃 pub. Just set that there. Figure it kind of sends a nice message. So today we're going to be talking about creating your superhero identity. Now, we all have different sides to ourselves, and these different sides will come out around different people. I'm sure you act differently around your coworkers than you do your friends, and probably show a different side to people you don't know, especially people on the internet. I would even bet that you probably act differently in different places and at different times of the day. So if you went to, say, a bar at lunchtime, you may notice that you act a little differently if you went there again in the evening. Most of this behavior is random. There's no consistency or thought put into it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Crafting your identity so you can be the hero you want to be at all times. Well, now wait a minute. This sounds like some clever way of convincing me to wear a social mask. I hate fake people. Heck, you said in your intro video you didn't like superficial relationships. How's this any different? You're right. I don't like superficial people, and this does sound a lot like wearing a mask. But there are differences. A lot of heroes in the comics wear masks, and so the metaphor I'm using here isn't perfect, but the way I see it is it's like this. Masks hide who you are. They're meant to protect you or make those around you look at you in a certain way. They're not your real self because masks are inherently deceptive. You're not trying to build a genuine relationship if you're wearing a mask. You are just looking to accomplish a goal. What we're talking about is what I like to call social capes. Your social cape is there to announce to others who you are. You're still tailoring what you show, but it's there to help you grow and just be your best self and build genuine relationships with others. Well, that still sounds pretty fake to me. Why can't I just be myself? Well, is it fake to act the way you want to act? I mean, yes, you are controlling your emotions and behavior, but only because you genuinely want to act like the hero you are. Are you really being fake if the person you're acting like is your best self? A social cape is a message to the world about who you are, and a promise to yourself to be who you want to be. People make snap decisions about others. These decisions are based on the way you look, your ethnicity, your gender, how you walk, how you talk, all sorts of other factors. And most of these have more to do with the observer's background. So keep that in mind when you're crafting your heroic identity. Well, people are just superficial jerks. Why should we should all see each other for who we genuinely are. Well, okay, but who sees you for who you genuinely are? Your friends, probably some of your family, and these are people who have taken time or just have had the time to get to know you. You can see them for who they are also. And again, this is because you've had the time to see them through a number of different situations. Asking someone to see the real you right off the bat is unfair. You probably can't even see the real person in someone who passed by. Why would they be able to do the same for you? there are probably things that you keep even from those closest to you. Why would you expect someone who doesn't know you to see your true self when those closest don't know all of your aspects? We live in a society with a lot of fake, reactionary people who don't think about the consequences of their actions. We have apathetic, if not downright malicious, bureaucratic, legal, and corporate institutions that make life difficult for everyone. I'll bet there are days when you don't feel like meeting a new person. You're more just out there and dealing with someone new. And a lot of people are having that same day. They don't know you. To them, you're yet another person who is probably going to do something to make their life more difficult, at least in their mind. You have to show them that you are different, and you have to be consistent with that image. If you can do that, you will get better treatment from them and prove to yourself that you are a hero. In the same way that others have to prove that they deserve your respect, you need to prove to yourself and your audience that you deserve their respect. Well, it's not like they're going to reciprocate. People are just not that self-aware. Do people act better to those who treat them well? I think you'll find that they do. And in any case, as I've said in an earlier video, you're the one who's choosing to be the hero, not them. This is for you. Besides, when you show that you are a hero, even if the person in front of you doesn't see it, someone else may. There's almost always someone watching, and that person, even if they're not the one who's in front of you, can become your ally. Well, okay, fine. How do I put on this social cape and not be fake? Happy to hear that you've taken that step. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that you have to present yourself in a way that your audience knows to pay attention to you. I've already mentioned that when interacting with others, you need to consider things from their view. And by that, I mean you consider it from their view. You're not putting yourself in their shoes. You have to get into their head and see how they would perceive you. What would they do in this situation? At the same time, you can work on more tangible elements like your clothes, your posture, voice, personal hygiene, etc. I'm in more casual clothes right now because I feel I will relate better with you when I look and talk this way. I'm even fighting my own issues of sticking completely to the script because I know I tend to write more academically, and that doesn't help with a discussion. For different people and different purposes, I would wear something else and I would use different words, and I'm still learning myself, so you will see things change in my presentation, but the reason behind them remains the same. I want to look and act in a way that is relatable to you. Well, that's still sounding fake. Okay, but you get to choose your audience. You get to choose how you present. That is genuine. I know who I want to work with and what I want them to think of me, so I will present in a way that is genuine to me and relatable to them. To give you an example, business casual clothing for men is awful. I despise it. You got black, navy, or khaki slacks and a white or light blue shirt. That's it. It's boring. It brings tears to my eyes. It's just bland as heck. So, I mean, come on. Color is not your enemy. So when I do dress for business casual, I have, I'll braid my ponytail. I generally wear a forest green or darker blue or possibly a burgundy shirt, usually with gray or black slacks, and I'll still look appropriate in a business setting, even if it's a bit different. Often I'll add a black waistcoat to that, which makes it look even more formal, and that's all perfectly acceptable in a business setting. But I'm still being true to my own self because I chose the colors, I chose the shirt, I'm choosing how I present. And I actually got the idea for all this by watching James Bond movies. The colors that he wore were nothing to write home about, but the clothes that he wore were of interest. And after that, I just figured out, okay, what are my own needs in this? And I adapted that and went with it. I'm still fulfilling other people's expectations of what they need to see out of me to get where I'm wanting to go, but I'm also working my own personality into it. People are going to label you, and there's no helping that. But you can show them what the right label is, and you can get treated the way you want. When you keep that in mind, you can use this to help you make friends, business partners, romantic connections, and even just getting strangers to be a little more amenable to you. And I really suggest that you have a default that is sort of a general purpose thing and work from there with specifics. I mean, obviously you're going to dress differently for a business meeting than you would for going jogging, but you can still make choices of what are the needs of the environment and the people that you're going to be around. And yeah, so not everyone is going to respond well to casual clothing in every situation, and not everyone is going to appreciate it if you wear a suit. The way you present will also require changes because you use different words if you're talking versus writing. But again, you get to choose how you're presenting, you get to show the aspects of yourself that you want, and let people get to know you. Well, okay, you've made your point. I get to choose my audience and how I present to match their expectations, so I come out looking the way I want to be perceived. But dealing with people and acting like a hero, that's tough. I want that, sure, but I don't know if I can do it. Knowing what to say and do is all about confidence, and I want to make this very clear. I'm not talking about the fake it till you make it kind of confidence that you're going to hear from so many other experts. For any self-development to work, you need to understand what confidence is and what it is not. Confidence is not faking it until you make it, and it is not being the most suave and sophisticated person in the room. Confidence is about trusting yourself enough to take the action that is best for you with the knowledge and resources you have, and to make corrections when needed. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to get it right the first time. but you can learn and grow. When you trust in yourself to do that, you have all the confidence you need. You want to be treated like a hero? Act like one. When you make mistakes, learn and fix them. Start small, but as long as you're moving forward, you will have all the superpower and confidence that you need. Every day counts. Be the hero you are, and I will see you next week.